Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
From Sports Talk. Today, we are going to have the question, are the Browns for real this time? Mike, go ahead.
I like what the Browns have going on. Kevin Stefanski has done a great job, honestly, a phenomenal job with this team. We've seen this Browns team be terrible for years. Most of our lifetime, the Browns have been awful. We saw Freddie Kitchens come in, expect to do great things with this team, and was mediocre. And then I said I liked Kevin Stefanski better than I liked Freddie Kitchens, but I didn't know much about him. I saw him do good with the Vikings offense the prior year, so I wanted to see what he brought to the table, and I have liked what he brought to the table. Recently, Baker Mayfield has looked better. The run game has been absolutely phenomenal. Are they the number one running offense in football?
I would probably say they're up there. I don't know if they're number one, but I'll check that now. Go ahead.
Yeah, check that. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt has been phenomenal. Odell Beckham is down. We got to remember that. They are without their number one wide receiver. But I like Baker using these Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashad Higgins. I like seeing these guys in this offense. The Browns excite me. Their defense is great. Myles Garrett is an animal. Whether or not he swings helmets at other players' heads or not, he is a great defensive end. He's scary. The Browns' defense has been good. We watched them crush. Like, the game was closer than what it shows because a lot of garbage time scoring out of the Titans. But the Browns dominated the Titans, and that has me excited. I think the Browns can beat anybody. I wouldn't go and say they're a Super Bowl content, like they're going to win a Super Bowl, but I think they're the real deal. Yes, I do.
Yeah, no. And back to your point, they are the top rushing defense. They were. So,
offense.
Yeah, well, I mean, sorry, yes, top rushing offensive, yes. I'm sorry, I was looking at something else. No, so back to what we were saying here. I agree with you. I mean, this is the first time. First things first, I want to say, and I'm going to post our take on Kevin Stefanski at the end of the video. What you said is exactly right. You were a fan of, you liked him better than Freddie Kitchens. As for me, I said I think he's going to be better than Freddie, but I didn't really like the signing. Reason being, if I had to clarify myself now, even though I was totally negative in the video, which again, I'm going to post it because I was wrong. I personally felt like they should have went out and got people like, I mean, the guy that I've been saying for years is Josh McDaniels. But Kevin Stefanski, more I think about it, I don't know why I was so against this. I think it was because I was biased towards Josh McDaniels. But when you think about who they have in Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and you think about what Kevin Stefanski is, he's more of a running first kind of a guy.
Listen, here's a little history on the Vikings, right? The Vikings, after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the Vikings hired John DeFilippo as their offensive coordinator. Him and Mike Zimmer butted heads because DeFilippo wanted to throw the football. Mike Zimmer wanted to run the football. So then they bring in Kevin Stefanski. And Dalvin Cook looked his best when Kevin Stefanski was his coach. And the Browns are probably sitting there like, we got two good running backs on this team. Let's bring in a guy that likes to run the football. They bring in Kevin Stefanski, and it makes everybody on the offense better. Like, Baker Mayfield has looked better when this team runs the ball well.
Yeah.
It's just facts. When a team runs the football efficiently, they're the number one rush offense in football. Their offense in general is going to be better. Their pass is going to be better because they run the ball well. That's why I've liked what Baker has done. He's missed some people open, but over the last couple of weeks, Baker Mayfield has looked like a solid quarterback.
He's a gunslinger, man.
Yeah.
He's a gunslinger, to say the least. I mean, he puts power on the ball, and he puts it.
Got attitude.
Sometimes he messes up, but sometimes he puts it where it needs to be. He's a cocky bastard, I'll be honest with you. He is. But you know what, though? As we said a long time ago, maybe it's his personality that's going to change the Browns' culture. And Kevin Stefanski, I got to say, he's changing the culture completely. I want to put this on air real fast. Well, first, let me start with Baker. Baker has thrown for 2,442 yards. He has 21 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That's a 3-to-1 ratio.
That's considerably better than what he's done ever. Last year, he turned the ball over way too much. This year, cut back on the turnovers, and it's because you're running the ball good. When you run the ball good, it opens up the play action.
Absolutely. And that's Kevin Stefanski's scheme. That's why this signing was a good one. And I totally missed it. And the completion percentage is 62.7%. They're 9-3, as we stated. Look, you mentioned Donovan Peoples-Jones before. I had him ranked as my eighth receiver on my board last year. And I don't remember what round they got him in, But
He
I
jumped
mean,
the pass too last week. He dropped it. I
yeah,
was watching the game. He dropped the pass, but then he caught that big touchdown.
I'll,
Baker,
I'll put it this way. Here are people that have put him over, and whether or not this is bad or maybe we'll see right, we'll see. I had him over some of the big names, and again, these big names, we'll see. I had Peoples Jones at 8, 9. I had Pittman. 10 people might say I totally slipped on, including myself. Chase Claypool. 11. I had Jalen Rager. And then below that, I had Gandy Golden. Another one that I slipped on. At 13, I had Brandon Ayuk, who's been playing
like
very
Brandon.
well. And I
Yeah,
have a bunch more guys below that. But look, what I'm saying is this. I had him ranked pretty high on my board. He's not playing bad, and we'll see what he can do. I mean, I think Baker Mayfield and him, that could be a connection for the future. And like you said, they don't even have Odell, and they're performing well.
well,
I
see,
honestly,
I think Odell drags this offense down, and that could be something for another video. But I think Odell Beckham Jr. is a cancer, and I'd be surprised if he's a Brown next year.
I know. I just saw someone before saying that New York, he just didn't have a winning culture in New York, and he said he didn't really like the coaching staff. Basically, he didn't want to come out and say anything yet because he's still in the league. But when I look at Odell Beckham Jr., he's a great athlete. I think he kind of shut up ever since he got what he wanted with Cleveland. He really has. But something just ain't right with him because they're performing, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know the exact stats, but they're winning games without Odell. Bay Mayfield had the best week ever last week. I just, to me, do they need Odell? And if not, let Donovan Peoples-Jones grow in this offense. Let Austin Hooper grow in this offense. Let Nick Chubb grow in this offense. We'll see what happens with Kareem Hunt. Will he stay there or not? I mean, I hope he does. He's a great addition, but Kareem Hunt to be a starter elsewhere.
Yeah,
So I mean, they got a great core.
I like that. The thing they don't get respect for is their defense. Their
Oh,
defense. I think the Browns could beat. It wouldn't shock me if they beat anyone in the AFC. Like I feel like it's wide open this year in both conferences. I think the Browns can compete with the Browns can definitely compete with the Steelers. I think they can compete with the Chiefs if they play a perfect football game. They can compete with the Chiefs. I think they're a good team. I really do. You can't sleep on this team. If you don't show up to play against the Browns, you could lose.
No, it's interesting to see because when you look at let me start with this first. One thing with Cleveland, when we were looking at this offseason, we did not even have Cleveland as really a thing after last year. What happened last year? Yeah. And the big debate between the media, at least, was the Ravens and Steelers. And you and me both called them out and said the Ravens are really go ahead. You tell them.
We called them out. We said the Ravens. I said Lamar Jackson would take a huge step backwards because he's not a good quarterback, and he has. He's a good athlete. He's a good runner, but he's showing us again he can't throw the football. He can't beat you throwing the football. That's no hate on it. It's just he can't do it. He's never been able to do it in college. So that's what's happening with the Baltimore Ravens now. And the Steelers, me and Nick both said the Steelers were going to be very good. They are very good. Great defense. Big Ben has come back and been phenomenal. But yeah, I think the Browns can beat them.
When you look at the teams the Browns lost to Ravens week 1, I think that they got their stuff together since then.
They got smoked week 1.
They lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, I don't know how you really want to look at that. I mean, Steelers are good.
Yeah.
And they lost to the Raiders, and I watched that game firsthand.
That was windy. It was real windy.
I just don't. That's the one that really knocks me with this team. I mean, look, they're 9-3, but to lose to the Raiders, it was windy. But if anything, that should affect.
They had 2 games in a row that wind really affected the game in Cleveland.
No, it did. It absolutely did. And I mean, but they got such a powerful offense and defense. Like, I mean, on paper, this team is really solid.
Yeah. The offensive line is improved. We've seen that. See, that's part of the reason why Baker struggled so much last year, too, because he was being hit constantly.
Absolutely.
The offensive line is improved. Who did they bring in? They brought in Jack Conklin, right?
Yeah. I think so.
The offensive line is improved. And the defense looks good. When Myles Garrett is in there, that defense, a big play can happen at any moment.
Vernon, I think, has been playing good, too.
Vernon's been playing very good. Yes, he has been.
And I say, honestly, the remaining schedule, I mean, they got Baltimore this week. That could be a win, in all honesty.
The way Baltimore's playing.
New York Giants are really tough all of a sudden. Their defense.
Giants, yeah, they're another team with a great defense. See, a team with a good defense can beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Dolphins, because they got a defense that can force turnovers. Turnovers and good field position wins you football games. And that's what a team with a good defense is capable of doing.
Just the New York Jets and the Steelers.
But I mean, I look at it. The Browns scared me in the beginning of the season because they were beating bad teams, like blowing out bad teams and losing to good teams. But then after they beat the Titans, that's when I'm like, okay, this team could be the real deal.
Absolutely. I mean, the Titans are my sleeping team. I've said it since the beginning. I mean, you go back all the way back. I could put that at the end too. I had them as my potential. I have to go back and watch, but
we'll see.
We'll post that at the end of the video. You guys will see both our takes on that stuff. And it's just crazy to me. But this Browns team, man, there's something special. I think that they can win a game in the playoffs and really upset some. They're not going to probably piece together. They could be that dangerous team. I mean, you look at their defense, they are dangerous. You look at their offense, they got what you need, a good run game, and they can pass.
Yeah, but no, see, that's the thing. I feel like Baker Mayfield, there's a lot of hate surrounding Baker Mayfield. But Baker Mayfield can beat you with his arm. I think he can win a football game when he needs to throw the ball a lot. As long as he doesn't turn it over. He's got the arm talent to beat you.
It's mental.
Yeah, it's mental. Exactly.
It really is. And that's another thing real fast before we wrap this up. I was telling Noah the other day, I really think Baker Mayfield plays good when the team's just winning. I mean, that might sound stupid, but like when he was on a losing team last year, he was just forcing balls and just now, even though he's still, I mean, he's that Mayfield of old, still a gunslinger, still pushing the ball downfield, still only completing 62%, almost 63% of his passes. And, I mean, if he gets that higher, that'll be good. But he is just that guy that I feel like he's being a little bit more careful now because the team's winning. But I feel like a lot with him is mental. If the team's not doing good around him, they're going to lose games.
Tries to do too much sometimes. That's what hurts him. But Baker Mayfield just stays solid, doesn't turn the football over. He's a good quarterback in this league.
Absolutely. Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's all, guys. We'll have our videos at the end of this one. I'm going to make sure I put this one together well. That's all here. Let me know what you guys think about the Cleveland Browns, and are they the real deal this time? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how far you think they'll go. That would be a good thing to hear from you guys. Signing off now, me, Nick, and
Mike
from Sports Talk. We'll see you guys soon. We are
Built Better.
See ya. Peace.
No.
Stefanski.
I don't like him. Overrated. I think this was a terrible
coached the game.
I don't think. Well, this is how I know your take on Freddie Kitchens last year.
Yeah.
You don't like him. I don't like.
What, all right?
I think he's gonna be better than.
He's gonna be better than Freddie Kitchens.
But I'm not a fan of Stefanski. I think there was better
He came
options.
from Minnesota,
available.
right? He's Minnesota's offensive coordinator. Minnesota's offense looked very, very good this season.
I feel like they had a lot of pieces,
why
though.
not? So did the Browns. The Browns got a lot of pieces. They got Baker Mayfield. They got Nick Chubb. They got Kareem Hunt. They got receivers freaking all over. Odell, Landry. Why can't he succeed? I like it. I'm not going to say underrated because we don't know where he's at, but I think he's going to be decent.